Namaskar. It's been 3 months of Manipur violence and the state is still burning. Now the fire of violence is extending to other northeastern states. Today we have Minister of State and BJP MP from Inner Manipur, Dr. Rajkumar Ranjan Singh. Namaste, sir. Manipur is still burning. Can we say that state and as well as central government failed to deal with this menace?
I think state, of course, that may have some weakness, but the central government is not failing. And see, right from the day one, central government under the supervision of the Honorable Minister of Home Affairs, Shri Amit Shahji, they sent the extra central paramilitary force and army. They were sent it because the situation cannot control only by the local state force. State force is not well trained. Of course, they might have trained, but under such mob circumstances, they may not face such kind of evidence. During those, the climax of the insurgency operations, central paramilitary force were sent it, and it was under the control of the command, unified command. The unified command is all the time headed by the chief minister, the head of the state. He has to command. But one thing is that I observed from day one, the army and paramilitary force were enforced by the central government. But the unified command's commander, I presume that it is not deployed properly. And that's why in the front of the common people, particularly in the valley peoples, when their houses were burned down, our central, the forces were looking, because they are not getting the command.
Yeah.
And that's create a negative narrative that, oh, Indian armies are coming, but they are looking to when the burning is started.
You talked about burning of houses and public properties. Even your house was attacked twice. In your opinion, who were the people who attacked your houses?
See, particularly mob culture, I know it. Mobs are always in the crowded areas. But my house, my residential area is away from the crowded area.
Yes.
And that's why I feel that there are some politically motivated and well planned, and even I presume that they are targeted to my lives also.
So you mean to say there was some hidden agenda behind that?
I think so. Local politics is there. There are not only my MP is not mine only. There is also Rajya Sabha MP and other MPs are also there. Why their houses were not attacked and why particularly to me?
So you said that this is a clash between Mithis and cookies.
Yeah.
And everybody knows that this is between Mithis and cookies. Still a section of society, or you can say a section of media or people or politician, they are trying to present it as a clash between Hindus and Christian.
Right from the British times, hills and plain, the administration was make it the reef. The hill administration was controlled by the Darbar. Darbar is headed by the British, and the plain administration is given to the Maharaja. So from that time, it was started. And when the hill administration is controlled by the British, and the conversion of religion started, and many things has gone. So that hills are Christian and plains are Hindu. So that kind of reef was there. So we tried to abridge it for the last 50 years. That organization was started by 1967 and I joined by 1973. And we travel extensively all throughout the corners and remotest part of the state. And also we try to bring in bringing the gap and bridging the gap. And that's why. But even then, that cannot make bridging the gap. Then we thought that there should be some kind of the camp. We have organized more than hundreds of camps, bringing the youths from the plain area to the hills and sitting together and narrating the origin of their village and how we come out and that kind of folklores and other we tried it, and that also cannot bridge that things. And ultimately we come to realize that there should be economic integrations that was started in the year 1978-79 as a third trial of approach. And if you recall our ancient lore, the singing by the peoples, we said that Manipur, in our dialect we call it Sanalewak Manipur, the Singna Koina Pansaba, Hauna Koina Pangakpa. Sanalewak Manipur is a land of God. Sana means Sona. And the Singna Koina Pansaba means it is encircled by the mountain ranges. And Hauna Koina Pansaba means hill peoples, Highlander. They are protecting the Manipur. This is our lore. Still, we are singing this. So, on that medium, we try to make at least the gap. Anybody who are the habitat in Manipur, I believe in the true spirit of Manipur. Spirit of Manipur means the civilization and culture of Manipur is built by the composite ethnic communities. There are about 34-35 ethnic communities, along with Meiteis and plus Meitei Pangal. These are the groups who fight together, who create the civilization together. We have a 2,000-year civilization is the production of those multi-communal the approach. So it cannot be separated.
Are you trying to say that there is some international forces who are trying to use this platform or a certain divide between the Kukis and Meiteis as a platform to destabilize Northeast?
At least 10% of the drug production of the Golden Triangle is shifted to Northeast India. And that was also published. And then about 1,600 square kilometers of the land of Manipur is used for poppy plantation using the ethnic communities, including some Nepalis. And that too, perhaps the Economic Vigilance has already published that before the starting of this violence, 2-3 months ahead, a huge amount has been transacted in Nagaland, Manipur, and Mizoram.
So, are you trying to say that there is drug cabal who is trying to instigate the violence?
That is one of the causative factors. Because India, perhaps we don't, in any case, no drugs should be in our country.
Yes.
And similarly, state is in the very strategic zone, boundary with Myanmar. Very recently, 2 years report was published by the United Nations, UNHCR. They said that about 52,000 of illegal immigrant has already entered to Nagaland, Manipur, and Mizoram in the last 2 years.
In the last 2 years?
Last 2 years.
This is the official data?
Official data published by the United Nations, UNHCR, who are dealing about the refugee. The Myanmar, their political condition is not stable. Anything happen in Myanmar, it affects to the Northeast India. So, for example, starting right from the British time, British India, Britishers, as per record, they use Kuki as their potter or something like that. And they were, as per record, we have found that they were semi-nomadic for the last 300 years. If you happen to go to some of the Kuki villages, you won't find even a single RCC or permanent construction. That's proof that they are nomadic. Throughout the India and throughout the northeastern India, and the chieftain right has abolished as early as 1966. Why Manipur government is allowing to practice the chieftain system in the Kuki This is one of the factors. And that's why many of the illegal immigrants were penetrated to all the areas of Manipur.
You said about illegal immigrants and also talked about Myanmar. There is a report by Assam Rifles and a committee that over 1,000 Myanmaris had entered India through Manipur recently. What do you have to say on this?
Yeah, that was the report. I have also seen it.
Okay.
Within 2 days. Here, one thing is that why it is happened in BJP's government time. Our government, perhaps you know, it was starting from 2017, and now most probably about 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Yes.
During these 7, 8 years, how the violence has happened? This is the fallout of the blunders committed by our predecessors' government. You know that in the 1971 census, 81 census, 91 census, and 21 census, there were a lot of hues and cries. The unbelievable increase of population.
Let's talk about the viral video. Even PM commented on that and said that the videos, the incident sent the nation. If you know that the video was recorded on May 4 and it was in your knowledge, because if you can arrest those perpetrators within 2 days, what took you so long to act on that?
Yeah, but that I am not defending the state also. I am not defending anybody who commit a crime. But the thing is that May 3rd it was erupted. 4th, 5th, 6th, about a month is a peak of the the what you call violence.
Yeah.
That May 3rd, 4th, 5th, these are all peak of the violence, killing and firing and looting. Everything is going on.
Yes.
And simultaneously, many of our mighties were also victim of this. But as a customary and other things, we are not exposing that things. But they say that it was violent. But of course, police, they have to control the fire, or they have to make the filing on that. But I'm not protecting. There may be some kind of the delaying process because of the circumstances. So I'm saying so. I'm not depending on that. But after that, many videos were viral. But why these two is making viral on the eve of the parliament session start?
Yes.
And that shows that there is a political motivation on it to target to our the Honorable Prime Minister and target to our NDA government. That is very clear one. After that, in Bengal, more than 700, as per a report, more than 700 incident, that type of thing has happened after May 4 during those of the Panchayat election. Why they are not focused? Those parties who are interested in this video, why they are not put forward of their stats happening? And why not for Rajasthan? But this has happened in Bengal after that incident, and now people are saying why the video is not viral for them. So this is specifically planning to make tarnish to our government, our Prime Minister, and also showing the ugly part of the unwanted part of our Indian democracy system to the outside world. That will not succeed. This is the currently Parliament is going on. All the times the opposition party is shouting and disturbing all the business. And our parliamentary ministry and even our home ministers and the defense minister has already announced to the House Manipur issue will be discussed. But why they demand to give the statement of Prime Minister first?
Sir, you said about selective outrage and also about the opposition that they are not raising the issue of their state, and whether it is Rajasthan or West Bengal. Recently, a delegation of opposition leaders has visited the state, and they have said that described the situation very serious and accused the Modi government of not taking enough steps to stem the violence.
The opposition party, they have gone only one day and visited, come back. You know, our home minister, state home ministers, Minister, what's that? MoS.
MoS.
He was there in the midst and the peak of the violence 20 days. And after that, Amit Shahji was 3 nights. So, our government is taking the issues so seriously. No, in any incident, did MoS or any Ministry of the Home station for 20 days in that place, that too in the midst of the violence. And it shows the degree of the interest of our government.
As I said that now the violence is extending to other parts of Northeast, like Mizoram, Meghalaya. And there is a report that recently a former militant organization has threatened that Metis should leave the states, lead our states. And according to our report, that 1,000 Metis left Mizoram after that threat. What do you have to say?
I think in the Indian democracy systems, the sister state and neighboring state should follow the principles and the norm of Indian democracy. And they should not indulge or interfere in the issues of other state. And it should not be spreaded to other state.
There is a land ownership issue in the state. How do you see this?
See, we were wrongly classified as valley and the hills. If you see the total geographical area, more than 90% is a terrain, hilly terrain. And in between the mountain, there is a small plain area that hardly represents 8% of the total geographical area. How can you classify that as a Ganga basin or Ganga plain or Brahmaputra plain? It cannot be compared. It's a intermountain valley, plain, plain area, small area. If you see the present context of the climate change, the environmental right is another big issue. The small 8% of the state population concentration is about 65%. Might maybe only 40 or 50. But altogether, the valley carrying capacity is exceeded. More than 65% of the populations are depend on valley. And for this 65%, if you look and think for their right to environment, to get the fresh water, to get the fresh the air, and then the greeneries, and all these are 92% are in the hill area. And our valley dwellers' environmental right is extended to the hill area. As a humankind, we should look into this also.
As we have seen that the Modi government is committed to mainstream the Northeast and doing lots of developmental projects for the Northeast, and also constituted a body named NEDA to look after the Northeast affairs. Do you think that the NEDA is serving the purpose?
Northeast is admired as adorned by the Modi ji is a different things. See, he always described Northeast as Achta Lakshmi.
Yes.
And also this is, during the Congress time, we thought that this area is a landlocked area, insurgency and landlocked. But Modi's time is a land link. We are linking the mainland India, making Northeast is the nodal point for Southeast Asia. The Prime Minister specifically, right from the days of Atul Bihari Vajpayee, and donor ministry Mantralaya was formed, and 10% of every department's budget is the keep for the Northeastern India development. And the PM Divine is also coming up. PM Divine means development for Northeast. It's a special package for the Northeast. Peoples and countries of the Southeast Asia took a special interest to Northeast. And that's why in any of the forum, I try to focus on Northeast India. Even the Japanese, Korea, and Laos and Vietnam, they are interested in Northeast
Yeah.
India. And that's why the foreign direct investment process is going on. So Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, they anyhow, even the Nagaland, they enjoyed the platform given by the external affairs, and they are trying to strengthen their economic activities. Whereas in Manipur, because of the problems, we are not able to even to discuss the matters. So it will be losing and the trauma in the relief camp, and the development, the hurdles will be very, it will be take another more than 20, 30
Sir.
years. It will be derailed.
Sir, you said that people are suffering from trauma. There are developmental barriers, and it will take 20, 30 years from here to recover. Then, sir, what is the way forward?
The way forward is, first let us bring the stop the violence completely with all the efforts. We have to stop the violence first. After that, across the table, we have to sort it out. That is the things. And ultimately, my point is that the Manipur is a unique geographical location and unique the landscape. It cannot be separated, and it should be as it is.
Thank you, sir, for giving us your precious time and joining with Organiser.